The city hums at dawn, a symphony of chaos, car horns, blaring footsteps, pounding screens, glowing with endless streams of news ads and urgent texts. In a cramped apartment on the edge of town, Sarah wakes to the weight of the day. She's 32, a nurse, a single mom. Her life, a tightrope walk between 12-hour shifts. Her son Liam's school projects, and a bank account that never seems to breathe. Her alarm screeches at 5:30 a.m., and already her mind races a patient's chart left unfinished, a bill due tomorrow, a lingering ache from last night's argument with her sister over borrowed money. She glances at Liam, 7 years old, still asleep, his small chest rising and falling under a patched blanket. For a moment, the world softens. Then her phone buzzes another shift change, another demand. She sighs, whispers a half-formed prayer, and steps into the fray. Down the street, a man named Daniel shuffles through the chill, his coat threadbare, his hands clutching a cardboard sign, veteran. Hungry. Anything helps. His gray eyes, once sharp from years in the service, now scan the crowd with a quiet plea. Most rush by earbuds and eyes down, lost in their own storms. A few coins clink into his cup, but no one stops. No one asks his name. He's a shadow, one of the least fading into the city's pulse. Sarah passes him daily, her gaze flicking away, guilt tugging at her. She's barely holding on herself. How can she help? Yet something stirs a whisper from deep within a call she can't quite name. This is our world fractured fast and often blind. Stress gnaws at us. Disconnection isolates us, and conflict simmers in our homes, our hearts. But in this chaos, the teachings of Christ and Pope Francis beckon like a lighthouse, guiding us to the least to love, to a life transformed by humility. Jesus said in Matthew 25:40, "Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Pope Francis echoes this in Evangelii Gaudium, urging us to find Christ in the poor, to be their friends, to learn from them. Today, Sarah's story and Daniel's begins a journey, one where faith meets action, where small steps ripple into hope. Sarah pulls on her scrubs, the fabric worn but clean, and brews coffee that's more necessity than comfort. Liam stirs, rubbing sleepy eyes. "Mom, can we get pancakes today?" he asks, his voice a bright thread in the morning's wait. She forces a smile, her heart sinking. Pancakes mean money, and money's tight. "Maybe this weekend, buddy," she says, ruffling his hair. She packs his lunch peanut butter sandwich and apple, then grabs her bag. Her mind already at the hospital. Patients wait. Mrs. Carter, 78, battling pneumonia. Jamal, 19, recovering from a car accident. Countless others, each a story, a need. Sarah loves her work, but the hours blur, the charts pile up, and exhaustion clings like damp fog. She feels stretched small, not enough. On the bus, she sits head against the window, the city a smear of gray and neon. Daniel's there at his usual corner sign in hand. She's seen him for months, maybe years. His face is weathered lines carved by time and trial, but his eyes hold something gentle, something alive. She wonders about him, where he sleeps, if he's cold, if anyone cares. The bus lurches, and guilt nudges her again. She's got her own battles bills, Liam's school fees, her sister's cold words. "You're always too busy." Sarah never there for me. Conflict stings, stress hums, and yet that whisper persists, soft but steady. See him. Help him. At the hospital, the day unfolds in a rush. Vitals checked, meds given, hands held. Mrs. Carter grips Sarah's arm, her voice frail. You're an angel, dear. You always listen. Sarah smiles, but inside she doubts. An angel. She's just surviving. Mid-shift, she steals a moment in the break room, scrolling her phone news of layoffs, a shooting downtown, a world unraveling. Disconnection seeps in a quiet ache. She thinks of Christ's words. I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. Pope Francis's voice follows from a homily she heard once. The poor are not a problem. They are a resource, a gift, a chance to meet Jesus. But how? She's no saint, no millionaire. She's just Sarah, tired, broke trying. The day grinds on. Jamal, the teen from the accident, cracks a joke, his grin bright despite the casts. You're my favorite nurse, Sarah. You don't rush me. She laughs, a rare sound, and feels a spark connection, however brief. Back home, Liam's at the table, crayons scattered, drawing a superhero. That's you, Mom, he says, pointing to a figure in blue with a cape. Her throat tightens. She's no hero, but for him, she'll try. Dinner's simple pasta, canned sauce, but they pray together, a habit from her childhood. Thank you, God, for food for Mom, for tomorrow, Liam says. Sarah adds silently, help me see, help me do more. Morning comes again, the cycle relentless. But today, something shifts. On the bus, Sarah watches Daniel. A man drops $1, hurries off. A child stares, then tugs her mom's hand away. Sarah's heart pounds, that whisper louder now. She thinks of Jesus washing the disciples' feet, humble, tender, a king serving the lowliest. Pope Francis's words ring clear. We are called to draw near to the poor, to encounter them, to look into their eyes, to embrace them. She has little time, money, energy, but maybe little is enough. She digs in her bag, finds a granola bar, a bottle of water. It's not much. Her stop nears her pulse races. What if he's offended? What if she's wrong? The bus halts. She stands, hesitates, then steps off. Daniel's there, sitting against a wall, his sign propped up. She kneels, awkward but determined. Hi, she says, voice soft. I'm Sarah. This is for you. She hands him the bar, the water. His eyes lift gray, deep surprised. Thank you, Sarah, he says, his voice rough but warm. I'm Daniel. A name. A person. Not a shadow. She smiles, shaky but real. Stay warm, okay? He nods, and for a moment the city's noise fades. Two souls seen. Back on the bus, Sarah's chest feels lighter. It's small, a snack, a word, but it's a start. She thinks of Matthew 25. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. Pope Francis's wisdom hums. The poor teach us to be human. Daniel's face lingers, his gratitude, his dignity. At the hospital, she moves with new purpose. Mrs. Carter's hand feels warmer. Jamal's laugh brighter. She's still tired, still stretched, but something's alive in her. A seed of hope planted in a simple act. Days pass, and Sarah begins to see. The barista at the coffee cart, frazzled, working double shifts. Sarah tips, extra, asks her name, Lena. The neighbor down the hall, a quiet widow. Sarah knocks, offers a chat. Small steps, humble ones, but they ripple. Liam notices. "Why'd you give that man your snack, Mom?" he asks one night, eyes wide. She kneels, meets his gaze. "Because Jesus says, when we help someone who needs it, we help him. We're all connected, buddy." He nods crayons, a new drawing Sarah and Daniel side by side, capes on both. Stress still stalks her. A bill arrives, red stamped urgent. Her sister calls, tension lingering, but Sarah pauses, breathes, prays. "Lord, show me the least today. Give me courage." She starts a habit each morning. She looks for one person to see to help. A coworker burned out gets a listening ear. A patient scared gets an extra moment. Daniel gets a coffee one day, a pair of gloves the next. He talks, bits of his story slip out, a war, a lost job, a life unraveled. She listens humbled. Pope Francis's words echo, embrace the mysterious wisdom God shares through them. Daniel's resilience, his quiet faith teaches her strength isn't loud, it's steady. One evening, Sarah's exhausted, her feet aching, her mind a fog. Liam's asleep, the apartment quiet. She sits, Bible open, reading John 13. Jesus kneeling, washing feet, serving with love. Tears well up. She's not enough, but maybe she doesn't have to be. Pope Francis says in Fratelli Tutti, the service of love makes us fully human. She's learning humility heals connection, lifts, faith moves. She whispers a prayer. Thank you, Lord, for Daniel, for Mrs. Carter, for Liam. Help me serve. Help me see you. Weeks turn to months. Sarah's routine shifts, subtle but real. She packs an extra snack, a few dollars, a kind word. Daniel's at his corner, and they talk now, weather, life, small things. One day, he hands her a folded paper, a sketch crude but clear of a flower. For you, Sarah. For seeing me. Her heart catches. She's no saint, no hero, but she's here, present, trying. The city still roars, stress, disconnection, conflict, but in these moments, she finds Christ. In Daniel's eyes, in Liam's laugh, in a patient's thanks, God's there. Sarah's journey's just beginning. The hospital grows busier. A storm brews at home, and Daniel's story deepens. But she's learning to lean on faith, to serve the least, to let humility transform. She doesn't know what's next, challenges, chances, choices, but she trusts. Christ's call. Pope Francis's wisdom guide her. See the hungry, the stranger, the least. Serve them. Love them. And in that love find life real, raw, redeemed. Sarah's days blur into a rhythm of grit and grace. The hospital hums with urgency, beeping monitors, hurried footsteps, voices calling for help. She moves through it, a steady presence in her faded scrubs, checking vitals, soothing fears, scribbling notes. Mrs. Carter's cough has eased her smile, a quiet gift. Jamal, the teen with the bright grin, grips her hand as he takes his first steps, post-accident, his thanks. Nurse Sarah, a spark in her weary heart. But the wait lingers. 12-hour shifts stretch to 14 bills, pile on the kitchen counter, and Liam's questions tug at her. Mom, why are you always tired? She kneels by his bed, brushes his dark hair, and murmurs, I'm trying, buddy. For us. Her prayer follows, soft and desperate, Lord, give me strength. Give me. Outside the city, pulses cold. November air bites as Sarah boards the bus. Her bag heavier now, packed with a thermos of soup, a scarf, a few bucks for Daniel. He's there at his corner, his veteran sign weathered but steady. Their routine has grown her small offerings, his quiet. Thank you, Sarah. Today, his gray eyes crinkle as he takes the soup. You're too good to me, he says, voice gravelly. She shakes her head shy. It's nothing, Daniel. But it's not nothing. Christ's words from Matthew 25:35. Echo. I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. Pope Francis's call in Evangelii Gaudium hums too. Find Christ in them, be their friend. Sarah's learning. Daniel's not a project, not a burden. He's a person, a story, a glimpse of God. Back home, tension simmers. Her sister Rachel texts, need to talk. You owe me. The fight over that, loaned $200, lingers a splinter of conflict. Sarah's stomach knots stress from work, money, family, a trifecta of strain. She wants to snap back to hide, but that whisper returns the one that started with Daniel. Jesus washed feet, served sinners, loved through division. Pope Francis writes in Fratelli Tutti Love builds bridges where hatred builds walls. Sarah breathes, types. Can we meet? I'm sorry. No reply yet, but she hopes. She tucks Liam in his superhero drawing of her, and Daniel taped to the wall and prays, Help me mend this, Lord. At the hospital, a new patient arrives. Elena, 40, a migrant worker, feverish, alone, her English broken. Sarah kneels by her bed, listens through the stumbles. No family here, a job lost, fear in her dark eyes. Sarah's heart tugs Elena's, one of the least like Daniel. She adjusts the IV, offers a warm blanket, a gentle, You're safe here. Elena's hand trembles, then squeezes hers. Christ's voice rings. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. Sarah thinks of Pope Francis's plea. Embrace them, look into their eyes. She does, and Elena's gaze softens, a silent thank you. Sarah's tired, but purpose flickers, small acts, big echoes. Days roll on. Sarah's bus rides become a ritual. She scans for Daniel, her bag, a little arsenal, socks, a muffin, a kind word. One morning, he's not alone. A woman, thin, shivering, sits nearby, her own sign scrawled, Lost everything. Help. Sarah hesitates. Her supplies are for Daniel, but that whisper nudges. She splits the Bounty coffee for him, a muffin for her. I'm Sarah, she says. The woman. Grace nods, eyes wary but grateful. Bless you, she murmurs. Sarah's chest warms. She's no savior, just a nurse, a mom stretched thin, but Jesus served all, not some. Pope Francis's wisdom lingers. The poor are a gift, a chance to meet Jesus. Work intensifies. A flu wave hits beds fill, and Sarah's hands ache from endless tasks. A co-worker. Tom snaps under pressure, his voice sharp. Sarah, you missed the chart update. She flinches, stress spiking, but recalls Christ's patience, his humility. Pope Francis says, Service heals us too. She pulls Tom aside, voice soft. I'm sorry, Tom. We're both swamped. Can I help? He blinks, tension easing. Yeah, thanks. They tackle the charts together, a small bridge over conflict. Sarah sees it. Humility isn't weakness. its strength quiet and steady. Home brings its own storm. Rachel shows up, arms crossed, voice tight. "You never pay me back, Sarah. I'm struggling too." Sarah's instinct is to fight her own budget's a threadbare quilt, but she pauses, breathes. Jesus loved through betrayal, served through pain. She sits, meets Rachel's eyes. "I'm sorry, Rach. I've been drowning work, Liam bills. Let's figure this out." Rachel softens, sighs. I need help too." They talk raw and real, mapping a plan, $50 a month, patience grace. It's not perfect, but it's a start. Sarah prays that night. "Thank you, Lord, for bridges for love." Daniel's corner becomes a beacon. One day rain pours and he's soaked, shivering. Sarah's bag holds an old umbrella, a towel. She hands them over, kneels. "Daniel, where do you go in this?" He shrugs a tired smile. "Shelter when I can. Streets when I can't." Her heart twists. She's no expert, but she listens, learns his war stories, his lost job, his hope flickering. Pope Francis's words burn. Be their friends. Listen to them. She does, and Daniel's wisdom hums. Resilience, faith, a quiet trust in tomorrow. She digs online, later finds a shelter's number, slips it to him next day. "Just in case," she says. He nods, eyes bright. "You're a light, Sarah." Liam watches, learns. "Mom, can I help Daniel too?" he asks, clutching $1 from his piggy bank. Sarah's eyes sting. "Yes, buddy." They ride together, Liam shy but brave, handing Daniel the coin. "For you," he says. Daniel kneels, grins. "You're a hero, kid." Liam beams, and Sarah sees Christ in her son, in Daniel, in this moment. Matthew 25:40 whispers, "You did for me." She's not rich, not rested, but she's moving, serving, growing. The hospital tests her. Elena's fever spikes her fear palpable. Sarah stays late, checks labs, calls a translator. "You'll be okay," she says, hand on Elena's. The woman's tears fall, gratitude in her nod. Stress claws overtime, cuts into sleep bills loom, but Sarah clings to faith. Pope Francis's voice steadies her. Love makes us fully human. She buys Grace a hot tea one day, listens to her tale of fire, a lost home, a fresh start. Sarah's wallet's thin, but her heart stretches. She's learning the least aren't a burden, they're a mirror reflecting God's face. Rachel's thaw grows. They meet for coffee talk. Deeper hurts, hope's healing. "I'm sorry," I snapped, Rachel says. Sarah hugs her. "Me too. We're in this together." Conflict ebbs, connection blooms. Liam draws more Sarah, Daniel, Grace capes on all. "My team," he calls them. Sarah laughs, prays. "Lord, thank you for family, for the least, for lessons." She starts a habit each night, she reflects. Where was Christ today in Elena's trust? Tom's teamwork, Grace's thanks. He's there. Winter bites harder. Daniel's cough worries her. She brings a scarf. A hot pack, asks, "Did you try the shelter?" He nods. "Got a bed last night, thanks to you." Joy flares small bright. She's no fixer, but she's present. Christ served humbly, breadfish a touch. Pope Francis urges, lend your voice to their causes. Sarah wonders, could she do more? A food drive, a church group. Doubt nips time's scarce, money's tight, but faith nudges. She talks to her priest, Father Mark, who nods. Start small. Sarah, serve one, then many. Days stretch, challenges mount. A pipe bursts at home, repair costs sting. Work surges, patience plead. Rachel slips, snaps again. Stress hums, disconnection creeps. But Sarah leans in. She serves Daniel soup, Grace a hat, Elena a smile. She mends with Tom, hugs. Liam listens to Rachel. Christ's humility, kneeling, serving, guides her. Pope Francis's wisdom lifts. The poor share God's wisdom. Daniel's grit, Grace's hope, Elena's trust, teach her life's hard, but love's stronger. One night, exhausted, Sarah sits Bible open. Luke 14:13 glows. When you give a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind. She's no host, no chef, but she dreams a meal, a gathering the least welcomed. Pope Francis's call rings. Be their friends. She scribbles ideas, soup bread, a church hall, Liam's help. Doubt whispers, she's tired, broke, but faith answers. She prays, Lord, use me. Transform me. Daniel's flower sketch sits by her bed, a token of grace. She's not enough, but she's here serving, seeing, changing. The city roars on, cold, chaotic, crowded. Sarah's small acts ripple Daniel's, warmer Elena's, healing, Rachel's softening. Liam's eyes shine, watching. Stress bites, conflict lingers, but humility heals. Christ's love. Pope Francis's vision carry her. The least, Daniel, Grace, Elena, aren't shadows now. They're lights guiding her to God. A storm looms, sickness struggle a bold step, but Sarah trusts, serves, hopes. Her journey deepens, and the transformation grows. Winter deepens the city, cloaked in a biting chill as Sarah navigates her days with a quiet resolve. The hospital pulses with need beds overflow, monitors beep, voices tremble with worry. Sarah moves through the chaos, her hands steady as she adjusts Elena's IV, her voice soft as she comforts Mrs. Carter, whose pneumonia lingers. You're my rock, dear, the old woman whispers, her frail fingers brushing Sarah's. She smiles, but exhaustion gnaws long shifts, bleed into nights. The pipe repair bill stings, and Liam's small voice echoes, Mom. You're home late again. She hugs him tight, his warmth a balm, and murmurs, I love you, buddy, always. Her prayer follows a lifeline. Lord, hold me up. Show me the way. Outside, the streets glisten with frost. Sarah boards the bus, her bag heavier each day, soup gloves a blanket for Daniel, a granola bar for Grace. Daniel's cough rattles now, his gray eyes dim but grateful as she hands him a steaming thermos. Sarah, you're a blessing, he rasps, wrapping the blanket around his shoulders. Grace nearby clutches the bar, her thin frame trembling. Thanks, Sarah, she whispers, eyes bright with a fragile hope. Sarah nods her heart, a mix of ache and warmth. Christ's words in Matthew 25:36 burn bright. I was sick, and you looked after me. Pope Francis's voice joins in from Evangelii Gaudium. Lend your voice to their causes, embrace the wisdom God shares through them. Sarah's no hero, but she's here seeing, serving, learning. Home brings its battles. Rachel's thawing, but tension flares. A call comes, Sarah, the payment's late again. Guilt stabs Money's a tightrope, and Sarah's slipping. Stress hums a constant drone, but she recalls Jesus at the well offering living water to a Samaritan, an outcast with love. Pope Francis writes in Fratelli Tutti, "Love shatters the chains of selfishness." Sarah texts Rachel coffee tomorrow. "We'll work it out. I'm here." A reply pings. "Okay. Thanks." Small, but a step. Sarah tucks Liam in his latest drawing, her Daniel Grace capes flying pinned to the fridge. "My heroes," he mumbles, sleepy. She kisses his forehead. Prays, "Lord, heal us. Bind us." At the hospital, Elena's fever breaks a victory. Her broken English spills gratitude. "You care, Sarah. God bless." Sarah squeezes her hand, sees Christ in her eyes, the stranger welcomed. But a new challenge looms. A storm's coming. A blizzard, the news warns. The city braces, shelters fill streets empty, and Sarah's mind turns to Daniel Grace, the least out there exposed. Her priest, Father Mark, nods when she shares her dream, a meal, a gathering. Start small, he'd said. Now urgency grips her. Pope Francis's call echoes, "Find Christ in them." She can't save everyone, but she can act humbly now. Morning dawns gray and biting. The bus rattles and Sarah scans for Daniel and Grace. They're huddled together, coats, thin faces pale. She kneels, hands over soup, a hat for Grace, a scarf for Daniel. "Storm's coming," she says, voice steady. "You got a place?" Daniel coughs, shrugs. "Shelter's full some nights." Grace nods, shivering. "We try." Sarah's chest tightens. Christ's voice rings. "I was a stranger and you invited me in." She digs in her bag, pulls the shelter's number, adds a church's Father Mark's tip. "Please try these. Stay safe." Daniel's eyes soften. "You're our angel, Sarah." She shakes her head. "Just a friend." Work surges, patients pour in flu and frostbite fear in their eyes. Tom, her co-worker, stumbles, stress cracking his calm. "Sarah, we're drowning," he snaps. She breathes, recalls Jesus gentle with the weary. Pope Francis's wisdom steadies. Service heals us too. She touches Tom's arm. "We've got this together. Take a breath." He nods, a flicker of relief. They tackle the chaos charts, meds, a shared load. Sarah sees it, humility binds, lifts, transforms. Elena's discharged, her hug fierce. "You saved me," she whispers. Sarah blinks back tears, not a savior, but a servant trying. Home's a refuge, then a storm. The pipe's fixed, but the cost bites. Liam's school calls a fees due. Rachel arrives, coffee in hand, voice softer. "I'm sorry I pushed Sarah. I'm tight too." Sarah exhales, meets her gaze. "I'm sorry too, Rach. Let's keep talking." They sip, plan small payments. Patience. Love builds slow but sure. Liam bounds in, waving a drawing. Sarah, Daniel, Grace, a church in the background. "For your party, Mom," he chirps. Her meal idea, his dream too. She hugs him. Prays, "Lord, guide this. Use us." The blizzard nears, winds howling. Sarah's mind races Daniel, Grace, the cold. She calls Father Mark. "Can the church help a meal, a warm place?" He pauses then. "Yes. Let's plan soup bread tomorrow night. Bring your friends." Joy sparks doubt, nips time, money energy, but faith pushes. Christ fed thousands with loaves and fish humbly. Pope Francis urges, be their friends, speak for them. Sarah rallies, buys broth carrots, cheap bread, asks Rachel, help me cook. Rachel grins. I'm in. A bridge grows, conflict fading. Next day, Sarah's bus ride hums with purpose. Daniel's there, cough worse. Grace beside him. Storm's bad. Sarah says, handing blankets, hot packs. Come tomorrow, church food warmth. Please. Daniel nods slow. We'll try Sarah. Grace smiles faint. You're good. Sarah's heart lifts. She's no expert, just a nurse, a mom, but Christ's call burns. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. She works tireless patience, warmed, comforted. Tom pitches in a team now. You're steady, Sarah, he says. She shrugs, feels Christ in the sick, the stressed, the served. Night falls, winds rage. Sarah and Rachel chop, stir, laugh pots of soup, bubble broth, and veggies, simple but warm. Liam tosses bread rolls in a basket, eyes bright. For Daniel, Mom. She nods. And Grace, and more. Father Mark calls Hall's ready heaters on. Spread the word. Sarah texts co-workers. Neighbors come bring serve. Doubt whispers. Will they show, will it work? But Pope Francis's voice calms. Love makes us human. She prays, Lord, bless this. Shelter the least. Morning breaks snow piling high. The bus crawls. Sarah's bag bursting soup jars, socks, hope. Daniel and Grace are there, huddled pale. Church tonight. 6 Hausera. She says urgent. Food heat. Bring others. Daniel coughs, nods. We're coming. Grace grips her hand. Thank you. Sarah's pulse races. Christ's in them, the least calling her. At work, chaos reigns, frostbite, cases, slipped falls. She tends a man, Joe, teeth chattering, homeless too. Come tonight, she tells him. Church a meal. His eyes widen. Really? She nods, sees God in his gaze. Rachel texts. Soup's ready. I got extra. Sarah smiles. Connection blooms. Work grinds hours. Stretch feet ache, but purpose fuels her. She invites more patients, nurses a guard. Tom joins. I'll bring bread. The storm howls, but Sarah's vision grows a table the least welcomed Christ there. Pope Francis's wisdom rings. Embrace them, learn from them. Daniel's grit. Grace's hope, Joe's trust, teach her humility's power, love's reach. Evening nears snow thick. Sarah Liam. Rachel Hall pots to the church, a humble hall heaters humming. Father Mark greets, You're a gift, Sarah. She blushes, just trying serving. Tables set. Soup steams, bread piles. Liam bounces. Our party. Mom. People trickle. Daniel coughing. Grace shy. Joe wary. Others come a woman. Kids in tow. A man. Worn boots. Sarah welcomes, heart pounding. Sit, eat, warm up. Daniel grins. You did this, Sarah? She shakes her head. We did. Bowls pass, steam rises, voices murmur. Rachel ladles. Liam hands, rolls, Tom chats. Sarah sees Christ in Joe's laugh, Grace's ease, Daniel's thanks. Matthew 25:40 whispers, "You did for me." Pope Francis's call lives. Find Christ in them. Stress lingers, bills, shifts, storms, but this heals. Daniel shares war tales, loss a spark of faith. Grace speaks a fire, a start anew. Joe nods, warmed. Sarah listens, learns God's wisdom in the least. Night deepens, the hall glows. 30 souls fed, sheltered, seen. Liam cuddles close. We helped Mom. Rachel hugs her. Proud of you, sis. Sarah's eyes sting not enough, but here. Christ's humility feeding healing shines. Pope Francis lifts, service transforms. The storm rages, challenges wait. Daniel's health monies pinch a bold next, but Sarah trusts. The least light her way, love binds, faith grows. Her journey rolls on deeper alive. Snow blankets the city, a relentless storm howling as Sarah stands in the church hall, the scent of broth and bread lingering. The tables are strewn with empty bowls, the heaters hum, and 30 souls, Daniel, Grace, Joe, families, strangers, sit warmed, fed their faces, softer in the glow. Daniel's cough punctuates the murmur, but his gray eyes shine as he nods at Sarah. This is hope, Sarah, he rasps, clutching a mug. Grace beside him smiles, her hands wrapped around a roll. You brought us in, she whispers. Joe. The frostbitten man laughs with Tom, the co-worker turned ally. Liam tugs Sarah's sleeve, eyes bright. We did good. Mom Rachel ladling the last of the soup grins. We're a team, sis. Sarah's heart swells, exhausted, yes, but alive. Christ's call in Matthew 25:35 echoes. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. Pope Francis's words from Evangelii Gaudium hum. Be their friends, embrace them. This night, humble and real, is a step. The storm rages outside, winds rattling windows. Sarah scans the room, her mind buzzing. Daniel's cough worsens. Grace's coat is thin. Joe's boots are soaked. Bills loom at home, shifts stretch, but faith steadies her. She kneels by Daniel. How you feeling? He shrugs a tired grin. Better here, thanks to you. She presses a hot pack into his hands, worry gnawing. Father Mark approaches, voice warm. Sarah, this is a start. Let's keep it going weekly, maybe. Her pulse quickens more. Time's scarce, money's tight. But Jesus fed thousands, broke bread with outcasts. Pope Francis urges in Fratelli Tutti. Love builds bridges. She nods. Let's try Father. Cleanup begins. Rachel scrapes pots. Liam stacks chairs. Tom hauls trash. Stragglers linger grateful. A woman, Maria kids clinging to her whispers. First hot meal in days. Sarah squeezes her hand, sees Christ, the hungry welcomed. Doubt nips, can she sustain this? But faith whispers back. She slips Daniel a shelter card again. Please see a doctor if you can. He nods, cough rattling. Grace tugs her sleeve. I'll come again, Sarah. Joy flickers small acts, big ripples. Liam yawns and Sarah scoops him up. Home, buddy. Rachel hugs her. I'm in next time. The night ends. The storm roars, but hope glows. Morning dawns, snow piled high, the city sluggish. Sarah's bus crawls her bag, heavy soup socks a plan. Daniel's there coughing harder, Grace beside him shivering. You made it through, Sarah says, handing broth a blanket. Daniel's eyes crinkle. Your church saved us, Sarah. Grace nods. Felt human again. Sarah's throat tightens. Christ's voice. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. She presses. Daniel, that cough. Promise me a clinic. He hesitates, nods. For you, I will. She smiles, prays silently. Lord, heal him. Guide them. At the hospital, chaos reigns. Storm injuries, flood and broken legs, chilled bones. Sarah tends a girl, Ava 10, shivering her dad frantic. You're okay, sweetheart. Sarah soothes, wrapping her in a blanket. The dad's eyes meet hers, grateful. You're kind. She sees Jesus, the sick, cared for. Pope Francis's wisdom rings. Find Christ in them. Shifts, stretch exhaustion bites, but purpose fuels her. Tom pitches in steady now. That meal, Sarah, it changed me, he says. She nods. Service binds heels. A text from Rachel. Got more soup ideas. We're good, Sarah replies. Yes, love you. Connection grows. Conflict fades. Home's a whirlwind. Liam bounds in mom next party when Sarah laughs heart full. The bill pile glares pipe school now food for the meal, but she breathes. Jesus trusted, served, loved. Pope Francis says, the poor teach us. Daniel's grit. Grace's hope. Maria's thanks linger. Sarah sits with Liam, plans more soup church nights. Help. We'll invite Daniel, right? He asks. Always, she says, kissing him. Prayer follows. Lord, stretch me, use me. Rachel calls, voice light. I'm buying carrots, sis. We've got this. Sarah smiles. Family faith, a thread of light. Days roll, the storm lingers. Sarah's bus rides hum with intent. Daniel's at a clinic, he tells her cough easing. Your push, Sarah, he says, handing her a pebble smooth worn. My thanks. She clutches it moved. Grace shares a shelter. Took her a job looms. You gave me courage, she says. Sarah blinks tears. Christ's in them, the least lifting her. Pope Francis's call. Learn from them. She does resilience, trust grace. At work, Ava's dad waves. She's better. Thanks to you. Sarah nods. Humble service. Echoes. Transforms. Father Mark texts, next meal Friday. Words spreading. Sarah's mind races time cost strength, but faith nudges. Jesus broke bread, knelt low. She rallies, buys rice beans, begs a neighbor for pans. Rachel dives in, chopping, laughing. We're cooks now, sis. Liam draws signs. Welcome all. Sarah invites. Daniel Grace. Joe. Maria Moore. Doubt bites. Will they come? Can she do this? Pope Francis steadies. Love makes us human. She prays. Lord, fill this hall hearts. Friday looms, snow slows. Sarah's bag brims, gloves broth hope. Daniel's stronger. Grace beams a job interview lined up. You believed in me, she says. Sarah shakes her head. You're enough, Grace. Christ's words glow. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. Work grinds patience. Pile a man frostbitten weeps. Sarah kneels. Come tonight, food warmth. He nods, eyes wide. Tom brings rolls, co-workers tag along. Rachel texts, pots ready, sis. Sarah's tired, stretched, but alive. Faith drives, humility lifts. Night falls, the church buzzes. Sarah, Rachel. Liam. Tom set tables. Steam rises. Rice beans, soup. 40 come. Daniel, Grace. Joe. Maria, new faces. A man. Sam limps in, weary. Heard this was safe, he says. Sarah smiles. Welcome. Bowls pass, laughter grows. Daniel shares clinic, helped a bed's his. Grace glows jobs hers. Your meal started this, Sarah. She blushes. Not her Christ. Matthew 25:40. Rings you did for me. Pope Francis's wisdom hums. Embrace their wisdom. Sam's quiet hope. Maria's kids' giggles teach her love endures, connects. Stress clause, bills mount shifts, drag a nurse quits. Sarah's weary, but the hall's light lifts. Liam dances, hands rolls. My team, Mom Rachel, hugs her. We're stronger, sis. Tom chats with Sam, bonds form. Sarah sees Christ in the hungry, the cold, the seen. She listens tales of loss, fight faith. Daniel's pebble sits in her pocket, a reminder, small acts, big change. Pope Francis says, service transforms. Her heart nods. Stress eases. Disconnection fades. Weeks build meals. Grow 50 now weekly. Sarah's stretched money thin, time gone, but faith holds. Jesus served, broke, loved. She buys bulk, begs donations. A grocer gives bread, a friend pots. Rachel cooks. Liam draws, Tom recruits. Daniel's better helps serve. My turn. Sarah. He grins. Grace works, brings a pal. Joe stays, shares a vet, too. Healing. Sarah learns courage, grit, God's face. Pope Francis's call. Be their friends. She is listening, laughing, lifting. Home tests her. A bill's read urgent. Rachel slips. You're always busy. Sarah. Sarah breathes, recalls. Jesus patient, humble. I'm sorry, Rach. I need you. They talk mend cook. Liam asks Mom. We're heroes, right? She hugs him. We try, buddy. Prayer steadies. Lord, thank you for Daniel, grace this. The meals bloom. Church hums, hearts warm. Sarah invites more patience. Neighbors the least. Doubt fades. Faith grows Christ's in the chaos, the crowd. One night snow eases the hall packed. 60 eat, talk, smile. Daniel stands, voice rough. Sarah, you saw us, fed us, loved us. Claps rise, her eyes sting. Not me, she says. Us and God. Christ's humility washing feet, feeding souls' lives. Pope Francis lifts. Love makes us fully human. Sarah feels it tired, broke but whole. Stress bites bills, loom a test, waits. Daniel's health a bold move, but she trusts. The least grace Joe. Sam light her path. Love binds faith, transforms the journey, deepens. The city thaws snow melting into rivulets as spring whispers through the streets, a faint promise amid the lingering chill. Sarah stands in the church hall, the air thick with the scent of stew and fresh bread, the hum of 60 voices. Daniel Grace, Joe, Sam Maria, and new faces blending into a tapestry of life. Tables brim with bowls, heaters glow and laughter dances. Daniel stronger now, ladles stew, his cough quieter, his gray eyes bright. My turn to give Sarah, he says, grinning. Grace in a new apron from her job passes, rolls her smile bold. You started this, Sarah, she says. Joe and Sam chat veterans bonding, while Maria's kids giggle chasing Liam. Rachel wipes a counter winking. We're a crew, sis. Sarah's heart pounds exhausted, stretched, but radiant. Christ's words in Matthew 25:40 sing, Whatever you did for one of the least of these, you did for me. Pope Francis's call from Fratelli Tutti echoes, Love builds bridges. This hall this night is proof humility transforms. Outside the city pulses. Cars hum, lights flicker, struggles linger. Stress still stalks Sarah. Bills, stack red and urgent shifts drag at the hospital and Liam's plea. Mom more time tugs her. But faith anchors her. She kneels by Daniel. You're looking good, she says. He nods. Clinic's helping, and this your meal keeps me going. Sarah clutches his pebble, her talisman, and smiles. Grace pulls her aside. Got my first paycheck, Sarah. I'm okay 'cause of you. Sarah shakes her head. You did that, Grace. Christ's voice hums. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. Pope Francis urges, embrace their wisdom. Sarah learns Daniel's grit, Grace's rise a sacred gift. Home buzzes a fragile peace. Rachel's steady their bond mending, but a late bill sparks worry. Sarah, we're tight again, Rachel says, voice soft. Sarah nods, recalls Jesus breaking bread, loving through lack. We'll manage, Rach. Together. Liam bounds in, waving a drawing. Sarah, Daniel Grace. A crowd capes ablaze. Our army. Mom. She laughs, hugs him, prays. Lord, carry us. The hospital tests her patient's flood flu, fading injuries rising. Ava, the girl from the storm, runs to her healed. Nurse Sarah, you're my hero. Sarah kneels, smiling. You're mine, kid. Christ's in her, the sick, the small. Pope Francis lifts. Find Christ in them. She does daily. The meals grow 70 now, weekly, a rhythm of hope. Father Mark beams. Sarah, this is alive. What's next? Her mind spins more nights. Bigger reach times thin funds scarce. But Jesus fed 5,000 with little humbly. Pope Francis says in Evangelii Gaudium, be their friends, speak for them. Sarah dreams a network shelters aid. She rallies. A grocer donates rice, a baker bread. Rachel cooks. Liam draws signs. All welcome. Tom brings pals nurses join. Daniel serves Grace. Chats. Joe shares war tales. Sarah listens. Sam's quiet hope. Maria's strength teach her. Faith nudges. Doubt fades. Action blooms. A crisis looms. Daniel's cough flares. A chill lingers. Sarah kneels, worry sharp. Back to the clinic, Daniel, please. He nods weak. You're my push, Sarah. She slips him cash, her last $20 for meds. Her heart racing. At work, a wave hits a crash victim. Ben 30 clings to life. Sarah steadies his tubes, soothes his wife. He'll fight. We'll help, she says. Seeing Christ, the sick cared for. Stress bites, hours stretch, sleep slips, but purpose burns. Pope Francis's wisdom holds. Service heals us. Tom grips her shoulder. You're our rock, Sarah. She shrugs, humble trying. Home trembles. A call. Liam's school. He's sick fever. Sarah's chest tightens. Time's gone. Guilt stabs. Rachel steps in. I've got him, sis. Rest. Sarah rushes, finds Liam pale curled. Mom, he whispers hot. She holds him, prays. Lord, heal my boy. Meds a cool cloth. Love, she nurses him. Her skill a gift. Rachel cooks broth, bonds tight. We're family, Sarah. Liam sleeps, fever easing. Sarah breathes, recalls Jesus healing, touching, serving. Pope Francis lifts. Love makes us human. Her boy, the least, now teaches her care, trust, hope. The meal nears chaos swirls. Sarah checks Liam, better smiling. Can I help, Mom? She nods. Soon, buddy. She calls the clinic. Daniel's okay on meds. Relief floods. Bus rides. Hum. She hands Grace socks, Joe a hat. Church Friday, she says. Grace beams. I'm bringing a friend. Joe nods. Me too. Sarah's vision grows, a table endless, the least seen. She buys beans, begs cans, rallies. Tom Rachel. Father Mark texts. 80. Coming Sarah. Doubt nips. Can she stretch? Christ's loaves. Pope Francis's call. Lend your voice, push her. Prayer steadies. Lord, fill us. Friday glows the hall alive. Pots steam, stew, rice, love. 80 stream in Daniel stronger. Grace proud Joe, steady Sam, Maria more. A teen, Lila shy, slips in. Heard this was safe, she says. Sarah smiles. You're home, Lila. Bowls pass, voices rise, laughter tales. Daniel toasts. To Sarah our light, claps echo, her eyes sting. To us, to God, she says. Christ's humility, kneeling feeding shines. Pope Francis hums, learn from them. Lila's quiet dream. A job a start stirs Sarah. Love binds heals. Stress claws, bills glare. Liam's cough lingers, shifts, drain. But the hall lifts. Rachel laughs, ladles. We're good, sis. Liam brighter hands rolls. My team. Mom, Tom bonds with Lila, hope sparks. Sarah sees Christ in Maria's kids. Sam's nod. Daniel's grin. She listens tales of fight-loss faith. Grace shares Job's steady, "I'm whole." Joe says, "This saves me." Sarah's pebble. Daniel's gift warms her pocket. Small acts, vast change. Pope Francis's wisdom rings. Service transforms. Her heart nods. Disconnection fades. Purpose grows. Weeks weave on meals soar 90-100. Sarah's stretched money-tight body weary but faith fuels. A grocer pledges weekly, a shop blankets. Rachel plans. Liam draws, Daniel serves, Grace recruits. Lila works shyly, smiles. Sarah learns their courage, their light, God's face. Christ's call. I was in prison, and you came to me. She visits a shelter, meets Tim, lost, broken. Come eat, she says. He nods, eyes alive. Pope Francis lifts, be their friends. She is listening, loving, lifting, a test bruise. Daniel falters, sick again. Sarah drives him clinic meds care. Your family. Sarah, he rasps. Her throat tightens. Christ's in him. Work surges Ben. The crash victim fights his wife, clings. Sarah holds her praise. Lord, strengthen. Liam's well, but bills bite. Rachel steps up. I've got soup, sis. Love holds. Sarah dreams meals. Citywide aid linked the least raised. Doubt whispers, too big, too broke. Jesus trusted served. Pope Francis says, love shatters chains. She prays, Lord, lead us. The hall thrives, 100 eat. Steam rises, hearts warm. Daniel better serves. Grace glows. Lila laughs. Tim sits seen. Liam dances. We're heroes. Mom. Rachel hugs. Proud sis. Sarah looks Christ's face in all the hungry, the lost, the least. Matthew 25:40. Burns. You did for me. Pope Francis's call lives. Love makes us fully human. Stress ebbs. Conflict heals. Faith blooms. Sarah's not enough, tired, small, but she's here serving, changed. The least, Daniel, grace. Lila, Tim, light her. A leap waits, bigger plans, deeper reach, but she trusts. Love, humility. God transform, the journey shines.